I have 3 days to write just under 5,000 words to accomplish my writing challenge for this month, which was 50,000 words in the month of December. Currently at 45,777 words. So we're almost there. Only issue is I've run out of story to tell for one of my point of view characters. So today we have to do a rough and dirty outline of one of the other two characters that I can choose from, and then we just got to start writing their chapters. The first step is going to be pulling up outlining documents that I've used in the past, and I think for this I'm going to use just the basic 3-act story structure.
Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been around before, but if you haven't, my name is Josie, and this is my writing project. It's an epic fantasy book with 3 points of view that I've been waiting to write for years, and I'm so excited to finally be able to put all my thoughts on paper.
So I've got the 3-act story structure pulled up, and this is like the simple hook, inciting incident, build up, first plot point, first pinch point, yada yada yada, midpoint, climax, resolution, whatever. So the plan is I'm going to go through each of these points and write out a sentence or two describing what I need for that specific moment. And I'm not starting from scratch because I actually have some notes from an attempt I did at outlining a long time ago before I really started thinking about the story, and things have changed. So that's not going to fit exactly correctly, but I'm sure some of the ideas that I had at that point were pretty good, so I don't want to leave them behind if I don't have to. I am starting to feel a little bit rushed right now. I have 3 days and I have under 5,000 words to write, so it's not that big of a deal, but I'm feeling this energy. So I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to work on this outline. It's a very loose, bare bones outline, so it shouldn't take me that long, but by setting myself that time deadline, I'm hoping that I can just relax. Don't worry about drafting. That comes later. And for now, we just have some fun because this is going to be such a fun storyline. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. It's very adventure-y, kind of like Indiana Jones-esque, and yeah, it's going to be fun. And I know that I already had some fun twists and conflicts happening, so it should be good.
I've been working on this outline for a lot longer than 30 minutes, and I'm just having a lot of trouble. I know where I want it to start, I know where I want it to end, but just everything in the middle, I'm just fuzzy on some of the characters I want to include as part of this group that the main character meets. And I need to just start writing because I need to get 1,600 words today to be on track. So I think I'm just gonna stop outlining because I've got the first 4 chapters nailed down for sure. So I should be able to write the whatever less than 5,000 words I still need for this challenge within those 4 chapters. Honestly, within 2 of those chapters. So I'm gonna deal with the rest of this plotting next month once this challenge is over. But for now, I'm gonna get started on the first chapter for my main character.
I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, but I was starting to get sick. I'd had a sore throat for about 4 or 5 days, and I was just about to turn a corner into heavy congestion. So I did my best, but I could slowly feel myself throughout that writing session getting more and more zonked out. But I almost wonder if feeling that way and not being able to think 100% clearly actually helped me with my writing, because the writing actually went really well. I mean, there's little things where I don't know if I wrote the main character with a good enough distinct personality, because I've spent so long now in my previous point of view character's head that I think that's bleeding into this, and this character is not super distinctive on their own. And I kind of knew that this would be an issue, which is why I've been writing all the point of view characters separately, because I know that switching between them would be really hard for me. So it's fine. This was expected. I'm going to keep writing, and I'm sure eventually I'm going to find the character. And then when I come back to these first chapters, I'm just going to have to rewrite it a little bit and make sure that the character is strong in whatever, she ends up being. And I didn't do too bad for myself yesterday. I actually wrote just over 2,000 words, which means I could potentially finish writing the 50,000 today. I mean, I'm still not feeling that much better today, to be honest. But I'm so close to the end. I feel like I can push through one more day. Like if we were halfway through the month, I'd be seriously worried about being able to keep going, but I can do it today. And we're almost like halfway through the day. I did not sleep well last night. So we have the whole afternoon to get the last, I think it's just over 2,000 words, maybe like 2,300 words written. I'm not yet done chapter one, so I'm going to keep working on that. It's coming out pretty good because I will say, as much as I thought that the outlining did not work out very well, like I was just after chapter 4, I was already starting to lose the plot, literally lose the plot of what I wanted to do. But with the notes that I'd previously done that I was going through, the plot didn't start like the inciting incident, the like first plot point, like getting going, didn't start until like too far into the book. So actually, what I've managed to do is make the beginning a lot more concise. So I've managed to make this first chapter a combination of what I would have stretched over two initially. And I've also been struggling a little bit with like how to start this section because the basic rundown of how I'm writing this book, right, is that I wrote an act one. I'm calling it an act one, but it's almost like the first part of the story. And it kind of serves as an act one because all three characters are together intermingling, which is why I wrote it all together because they're literally interacting in those chapters. And then they all go on their own separate journeys. And then the way I plotted the first point of view character is I almost had it restarting with a new inciting incident on her new journey. And I've done the same thing here. So I don't know how it will affect the pacing, but I feel like making sure I don't have that many setup chapters is going to be key to not feeling like, we're stagnating, like we're just hanging out, like we're restarting a little bit. I'm planning on having this be like a longer series. And so I'm kind of viewing this first part as almost an inciting incident or an extended prologue, even though a lot of stuff does happen. So it's not just like a prologue. And I do have a prologue. Anyways, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But essentially, I feel like this part one is almost like the intro to the entire series, if that makes sense. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'll get to the end of this. I'll have to interweave all of the chapters from my three main characters, give it a read through, and see if this pacing is even working. But for that to work, we need to actually have content. I need to actually do some writing to see if it is making any sense. So we're just gonna go for it. I'm actually this is a fun scene. There's a couple of really fun scenes in this, and I'm actually really excited for the next one because we have the main character doing some sneaky things. So let's just get going. We have now drafted 50,000 words in my epic fantasy book in the month of December, and it's also December 30th, so we did it in 30 days instead of 31. And I'm feeling oddly not that enthusiastic about it. It's been a couple of hours actually that I completed it, and I was kind of like waiting to feel like excited, to feel emotional, before ending this off, but it's just not coming. I think I felt a lot of those emotions a couple of days ago when I completed the first point of view character's arc. And then now that I've started the second character's arc, I'm basically at the start once again. We're just now getting to inciting incident moving forward. So it definitely feels a lot more like a beginning than an end. I'm going to draw in my last few boxes for the 50,000. So hopefully that'll make me feel a little bit more enthusiastic about all of this. So at this point, I don't even think we're halfway through the novel, so there is still so much to go. And I haven't decided yet how much writing I want to get done in the new year because I am just getting a little bit tired of it because I have been really pushing myself. And I think a lot of that might have to also just do with the fact that I am tracking word count. In other times when I feel excited to keep going, because I am so focused on what the word count is, how much I've gotten done, when I hit certain milestones, like when I hit 500 words or 1,000 words, I'm so much more aware of it. So I feel like it draws me out of the writing a lot more. So what I've been thinking about doing actually is not keeping track of word count in the new year and just writing. I don't know if I can turn off the word count feature in Scrivener, which is what I use to draft. I mean, hopefully I can. I don't know. Maybe I can get myself to just like not look. But that's not going to work. I am going to look. So we're going to have to figure out something else. But who knows? Maybe a lot of my feelings of like dissatisfaction with this is coming from the fact that I'm sick and I can't feel like much of anything right now other than just like congestion and tired. Because 50,000 words is an accomplishment. Like every time, like sometimes I think I take it for granted a little bit that I can hit these word counts. I can do this like now pretty consistently. Like when I set out, let's hit 50,000 words this month, I'm like fairly confident that I can get there. But even though I know that I can accomplish these things, like it doesn't take away from the fact that it is a lot of work and I did get there. Like it's definitely going to feel nice tomorrow waking up and not having like 1613 words looming above my head every day, because I do still want to keep writing because I'm still so far from the end of this book. But there you go. There's our 50,000. But I think I'm just gonna go at like a slower, steadier pace, and it might take me like a lot of next year to finish this book, even just the first draft. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But I don't think I want to push another 50,000 word month, at least for the next couple of months. We're just gonna take it one day at a time and keep working on this thing. I mean, I love the start that I've gotten on this project so far, even the second point of view character. I actually got a little distracted as I was doing my 2,300 words today, and I went on Pinterest to start looking up photos because I have like a very clear image in my head of the setting and the characters and stuff, and I wanted to see if I could find pictures on Pinterest that like kind of match that. But I don't think I'm gonna do like a Pinterest board or anything because I just don't know these days like what's AI and what's not, and I just like don't want to have to accidentally pin a bunch of AI photos instead of real photos. And anyways, thank you so much for following me on our 50,000 word journey. We made it. Oh, I'm gonna stop to fill that in. But 50,000 words, and I'm going to be doing a lot of drafting in the new year. So I'll see you then.